Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Retronauts panel for this year's Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2023. Thanks for coming. I'm your host for this one, Bob Mackey. Who is with me today on the panel? Let's go over here.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Parrish, here under protest because I believe Mario should never be seen outside of a video game.
Who else do we have?
I'm Gary Butterfield. I was actually in the Mario movie from the 90s. I was the guy who walked around misting everything with olive oil. That's why everything looks wet. It's me.
He made everything more Italian in that movie.
Yes.
And who else do we have?
Hey, it's Charles Martinet superfan, Henry Gilbert. And it is Martinet, the French pronunciation.
I'll have to remember that. So I do want to say up front, if you don't count COVID, in the year we forgot to submit a panel, this is our 10th year at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. So thank you for joining us once again and thanks for coming to our panel. So this panel is all about the many adaptations of Mario, and it's coming at a very important time for the Italian character because we now live in a world where Mario has a new game, he has a new voice, and he has a movie that's fairly new that's somehow the third highest grossing movie of all time. And so I thought I'd lose all of you up front by saying I hate that thing. We won't be talking about it. I think I don't want to call anyone out. I think somebody on this panel likes that movie.
I think it's alright.
Okay.
It's I have no expectations for CGI cartoons. It's not a Minions movie, so C+.
I guess if you've never heard Aha, you would say this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
That song rocks. I've never heard that before. It's super good.
Did they make it for the movie?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, yeah.
It's on Mario.
And I did not plan this, but there is a new Mario game out very, very, very soon. I think it's already out or coming out like Tuesday? 5 days. So people are excited about the return to 2D side-scrolling. People are excited about, just the classic gameplay. Some people very excited about the elephant characters. And, that's an interesting demographic, but they support the game as well. So yes, we're going to be talking about the many adaptations of Mario, and I want to start with the anime adaptations because there are a few, and some of them only recently became known of or recently became localized. So the first thing we'll be talking about today is Super Mario Brothers: The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach. It's from 1986. And I feel like this has been floating around on the internet for a very long time, but recently a group online did a 4K restoration for free. You can just watch this in 4K on YouTube, and a full localization, and this movie released in July of '86, so basically within a month of the Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2. So there's not a lot of Mario content to include, so they include all of it, and they make up a lot of things as well.
It's a children's movie meant to be forgotten. Like, that's why there was just like, one VHS version that was out there for the longest time?
I think so, yeah. And I'm sure Nintendo doesn't want any of this information spread outside of this room. Doug Bowser kicking in the door.
Yes. You're all cool?
Is
You should have signed a thing that said you were cool when you came in. I want to make sure you're cool.
Is anyone's last name Bowser? No? Okay, we can continue that. We can continue.
So Super Mario had only just come out, but there was a lot of Mario lore in existence already. He was a wrecking crew guy. Mm-hmm. He was in the army. He was a guy who kidnapped monkeys. So did they fit this stuff into the Peach movie?
Unfortunately, no, because in this movie they run a grocery store.
He's probably a Game & Watch, actually.
He has no ties to the cement industry in this movie. So just some fun facts about this production. Animated by Grouper Productions. Circus Production helped out. Nobody knows who they are. They're very obscure. Very few credits. Directed by a guy named Masami Hata, who basically started his career around the time anime was created. He worked on the original Astro Boy stuff. So some veterans are working on this. This guy also directed the Little Nemo movie, which the NES game is based on. Very beautiful but very boring movie. And so we know Charles Martinet, it's Martinet, right, Henry?
That's what I believe.
I got it correct. There's some new guy now, they just revealed his name. I forget what his name is, but so that's the new guy. But in this case, Mario is played by Toru Furuya, who played Mario in most of the Japanese stuff we'll be talking about today. So this guy, he's Amuro Ray in Gundam, he's Yamcha in Dragon Ball, he's Tuxedo Mask in Sailor Moon. So they got a big hitter to play Mario. So yes, Basically, it's worth watching if you've never seen it. It's 60 minutes. It's just a fun little curio. But the highlight of the film by far are the clips included in this movie in which they're just explicit advertisements for Mario-related food products you could buy at the time. And I mean, a lot of us in this room grew up in the 80s and we realized, yeah, G.I. Joe and He-Man, they were there to sell us toys, right? But at no point did they actually hold up the toy and say, wow, fun! I should get this today. This is happening in this movie, and I'll show you a few clips of what I mean here. Forget about fire flowers, forget about mushrooms and stars. The greatest power-up is Furikake.
As insidious as that is, there actually is a version of Mario Brothers that was released on Famicom Disk System that includes explicit advertisements for Super Mario Brothers 3 and Mario Furikake.
Right, there's little cutscenes with the Furikake in there, right?
Yep.
By the way, Furikake delicious. Check out your local grocer.
I once knew a guy who, while walking between two bars, walked over and pulled a whole sandwich out of a bush, like he had stashed it there. And the only difference between that and this is the sandwich didn't have his name on it. It's so much weirder to just be like, I guess I'll hit this block. Oh, it's food that has my name on it.
Absolutely where Final Fight got the idea for garbage turkey from.
Yeah.
Now that, I mean, yeah, you see in the 80s, like for our childhood commercial toys, they at least had to pretend like, well, you're just seeing the adventures of He-Man and you might happen to learn some more. But this, in Japan, it makes me realize, like in America, we had just the slightest bit more laws on the advertising to children comparatively.
Yes, I mean, Skeletor lived in Castle Grayskull. He didn't play with it. And say, wow, how fun and neat. So we have a lot to cover, so we're going to just speed run through this. I want to show everybody the ending. So Jeremy was talking about before how there was Mario lore, where Mario had many jobs. In this instance, Mario does not really get the princess, and they really create a new character out of nowhere. So here's the ending of this movie. Spoilers.
Did they explain who like Leapbop is here? The little guy?
He was secretly a dog the entire time.
Oh.
This is just the ending to Twilight Princess.
It's the ending of Howl's Moving Castle, actually.
私は隣のフラワー国の王子、ハルです。
あなたがハロ王子様。
姫をお迎えに上がる途中、不覚にもクッパの魔法で犬に入られてしまいました。
姫の婚約者ってのは。
マリオ、ルイージ、ありがとう。あなた方は私たちの恩人、誠の勇者です。
マリオ、しっかりしてマリオ。姫が幸せになる。マリオ、ありがとう。
You know, folks, I've heard of the Warp Zone, but the Friend Zone?
This started as a Vertical Horizon song. You're everything she wants, she's everything you need. But then it turned into this.
Yes, I guess it is perfect for editing your own anime music video, too.
Why did they create a love interest? Like, was it just decided Mario can't fall in love at the end of this? That he can't?
He needs to remain a bachelor, so everyone can know he's available.
It's also nuts that movie starts the same as the new movie too, where they get sucked into the video game in this, but in both movies, basically like the same 5-minute point, Mario is playing a Nintendo Entertainment System. But yeah, I guess and the ending has the same, like, the flinging Bowser scene. It also ends with flinging Bowser by the tail.
Yeah, predicting Mario 64. Right?
Yeah.
So that was the great mission to rescue Princess Peach, and we're going to move on to more anime. So get ready for more subtitles. So we have Amada anime series Super Mario Brothers. This is from 1989. Essentially, these were 3 videotapes released towards the end of the bubble era in Japan. They each contained about 12 minutes of content, and each bit of content was based on a Japanese folktale, and in one case there is an American or European folktale. So we have Momotaro, which is Peach Boy, we have Isunboshi, which is usually translated as Inch High Samurai, and then we have Snow White, which is the best version of Snow White because Bowser plays the evil queen in drag. So you do want to look these up online, they're a lot of fun. And this is animated in big quotes by Studio Junio. So Nintendo had a relationship with them because an artist from that studio designed the Punch-Out characters. They like to turn to these outside sources to make their graphics more interesting, go beyond what sprite artists could normally do. And they also, they animated the opening of Sonic CD as well, but from what you'll see today, you won't see the same things happening here that you can in Sonic CD. Very, very low frame rates. Characters aren't moving a lot.
I think it has probably as many cells as like 3 seconds of the Sonic CD opening.
Yes, it's very, very cheap. But these are about like 3,000 yen each in Japan. And again, 10 minutes of content, 12 minutes of content each.
And educational too. I mean, geez, that's
yes. They're educating you on what apples not to eat in this world. So yeah, Studio Junio, they did some stuff from millennial childhoods. They did things like Batman the Animated Series, some really good episodes of that. But yeah, I think like the other thing we just saw, the movie, it's better animated, but I think this nails the look of the Mario characters a lot more, even though nothing is really moving. And I guess my only real beef with this is that this does what the Super Mario Brothers Super Show would do the same year, in which they can't think of anything to do with the lore of Mario or these paper-thin characters. So they say, what if it was this story, but everybody else was playing the roles? Like, Koopa was George Washington, and Mauser was Benedict Arnold. I don't know. There's a lot of these. So I did select one clip because we talked about the great power-ups of Mario. We talked about the mushroom, the fire flower, the star, delicious furikake. But the greatest power-up Mario ever got was a gun.
それじゃあ行ってきます。
気をつけてな。これはマリオの好きなものが入ってるお弁当よ。持ってお行き。マリオ。
I can't believe they got Van Halen for that.
Originally was going to have a gun before he had Fireball, so this is really just taking the series back to Miyamoto's original vision.
They're looking at the design docs.
He's a true American. He's armed.
Made possible by the giggly.
Yes, we all remember the special day our grandpa and grandma gave us the heirloom gun. But I guess he only just pokes Bowser with the gun, so...
It's just for thread. It's also, I love they gave him the Rambo putting on the headband montage, too. But the art design is great. Like, it is like they just jumped out of the Super Mario 3 instruction manual.
Yes, although it does deviate from the Momotaro source material. He does not have a gun in most tellings of the story. Yes, so that is Amada anime series. You can find that on YouTube as well. Someone subtitled them. and they're all together in one compilation. But they're a lot of fun, and like you saw, barely animated, but still fun. So our last anime thing we have is a PSA. It's called Super Mario's Fire Brigade, also from '89. This is a fire safety short made by Toei, and it's basically teaching kids how not to start a fire and what to do if there is a fire. And thankfully, this is online in its entirety, not subtitled, but thankfully, a friend of the show, Nina Matsumoto, helped me translate this. So this is an exclusive. For the first time, you're going to see some portion of this translated. So I did want to start things off. So this is a fire safety clip, but there's a little side story in this movie that has nothing to do with fire safety. I think it should be explored in more detail, but they don't really follow up on it. So let's see what's going on with this family.
帰ったよ。ただいま。どうだお土産だ。
またお酒飲んでる。
おかえりのキスは。はい。
やだ、お父さんお酒臭いもん。
そうか。臭いか。
ご飯は？
召し上がった。熱いお茶くれ。渋いやつ。それからウロ。
So yes, and if you watch the entire short, the risk of fire is not from Drunken Daddy. He sobers up rather quickly, and everything's okay. An earthquake causes the fire later, but this is just a little slice of life. When your drunken father comes home, but he does bring sushi.
I mean, it is dangerous. The kid knows to grab the cigarette later, but yeah, it's crazy. They just accept, like, yeah, your father will come home drunk, and you know, tell him to his face that he's drunk.
This was the first subtweet. Somebody animated this entire movie to send a message to a certain husband. Take that, Dad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do respect Japanese culture because American drunk dads do not bring home souvenirs. Sometimes they don't bring home themselves. It's very sad. So, yes, this follows the structure of all of these 80s PSAs. If you've seen them, like Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue, basically the pitch is your favorite characters come into your world to yell at you. And that's supposed to teach you a lesson. So, to give you some context about this clip here, this is the Mario Brothers springing into action after they notice these kids have started a fire lighting fireworks in a junkyard.
花火はよく注意してやらないといけないんだ。
はい、ごめんなさい。
花火をするときは一つ燃えやすいものの近くではやらない。一つ水の入ったバケツを用意する。一つ大人と一緒に火事はあっという間に命や家を奪ってしまう怖いものなんだぞ。
Yeah.
I'd say the G.I. Joe PSAs were a lot less intimidating than those.
Yes, they weren't getting in these kids' faces. So I will say Nina did subtitle more of the scene. I got tired of adding subtitles with iMovie, but right after this, Mario and Luigi make the kids imagine their house on fire, and they're traumatized.
In the G.I. Joe ones as well, they're all the same shape and species. Like, it's kids and then it's adult humans, not kids and then whatever. Like these...
Gary, they're called Italians.
Yeah. Well, I was working up to say that. I just wanted
Okay. We're all cool here, right?
We established coolness.
Mario and Luigi are wearing their own mascot heads when talking as children. Roadblock is much nicer in the G.I. Joe things, telling kids to, you know, how to staunch a bloody nose. And he's not making him feel horrible about it.
I think all of the parodies have overwritten the originals for me, so I think there's about pork chop sandwiches now, right? And the guy going, I'm a computer.
Body massages offered.
Yes.
I could watch that push-in forever. I feel like that should have never stopped. They should have just gotten closer and closer until it, like, repeated. And just an infinity mirror of Mario and Luigi menacing me.
Yeah, hey, they're not so fun when you play with fire. So, I don't know how this surfaced, but apparently there's another one about traffic safety. It turned up in a screening of safety films for children. I don't know where this was in Japan, but apparently government libraries in Japan have this, but they don't lend it out to just anyone because they know you're going to show it at your weird little panel for people to laugh at. And there's nothing funny about traffic safety. But if you look for this online, you can see about 2 minutes of Bowser almost being hit by a car and Mario saving him. So that's that.
It's very Alex Kidd of him.
Oh yeah, that's true. Cars aren't normally a danger in the Mario universe, so they're prepared.
Well, I don't know. Those carts hit people pretty hard.
Oh yeah,
Very fast. But and also Mario is like one of the least careful people with fire in the universe.
That's true. That's true. He's one to talk. So we're gonna move on to the last anime thing here. So it's called Super Mario World, Mario and Yoshi's Adventureland. Yabba Dabba Doo, Mario's talking to you, because this is a game for Bandai's Tero system. Basically what this was, it's a VHS-based game system in which you watch a very short film. Occasionally the characters will call you to ask you a question with 1 of 4 answers, and it's like very low stakes how to be a millionaire. And the answers don't, because it's a VHS tape, the answers don't change. This is very easy to master. And most of these titles are licensed. If you look online, you can see full playthroughs of things for Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon and Ultraman. So I want to show everyone a commercial for this to let you know the intended purpose of the Tero system.
このクイズわかるかな？よくわかったな。ウルトラマンの仲間入り、バンダイのテロ。
There you have it. You know, it's fun and it teaches kids valuable phone conferencing skills, something for the future. Do you know how to put Ultraman on hold? This will teach you. So that is a Tero, and we have our first and only bit of listener engagement. This is the only interactive segment of this podcast episode, this live podcast. So I'll show you a clip of what this is actually like, and I want everyone to play along with the video clip.
スーパーキノコでも出ないかな。あれ、なんだこの卵。もしもし、僕ルイージ。ねえみんな、これ何の卵なんだろう。この中からどの卵か当ててみて。
I hear 3, but unfortunately I don't have the follow-up to that, so we'll never know. And were you all issued a button before this? Okay, well the Expo messed up. I don't have to talk to them afterwards, but that's essentially how it worked. And I mean, little kids love watching things over and over and feeling some sort of mastery over them. So this is for like very little kids, but it's one of the few Mario anime things that actually existed in this time period. So it's kind of fun to see.
If any of you have to use Skype for work, that Luigi holding the phone, like staring directly at, is a golden AVI. Like, you can make that and be the hero of your workplace.
So also worth noting on the anime front, this is actually too boring to show you here, but in 1995, HAL released a VHS tape teaching kids kanji with Mario and Kirby characters, and I guess the one thing about it is it's the first time Mario was voiced in Japanese, but that's basically it. So we're going to forget I even said any of that before anyone leaves this panel and talk about American adaptations. So hooray, no more reading. And we're going to talk about Saturday Supercade. Now Jeremy, we're all on the borderline of Gen X, but you are a true Gen Xer.
That's right.
You were blasting SIGs and skateboarding during all the late 80s, so you were an actual kid.
Cube while you were still in diapers.
So I want to know if you were present for the Saturday Supercade as an actual viewer.
I avoided it
Really?
at all costs.
Okay.
I told you, I don't believe Mario should be in any form outside of a video game, and I'm resolute about that.
Well,
I've never watched this TV show.
You've been correct so far. So far, this theory is correct.
I'm glad I can be vindicated here live in front of so many people.
So Donkey Kong is just one of many segments on the Saturday Supercade, and kids love video games. And there's a Donkey Kong Jr. segment in which he is with a Fawn-style character. There's a Hubert segment in which he kind of is the Fawns. Happy Days was very popular in 1983, is what we're saying here. And yeah, Donkey Kong was huge. Donkey Kong Jr. was huge. This is the same year that Mario Brothers comes out, but they're making this in which Donkey Kong Mania swept the nation. So it is very much a Donkey Kong-centered segment here. So we're going to check out a clip here, and I regret showing you this, but it's just part of being comprehensive. So you're going to see the Saturday Supercade.
I'm gonna chase that walking turtle back down here.
Mario, don't let anything happen to Donkey Kong.
Right.
first time. Donkey Kong does have hands.
God, man, he's so boring, though. Why make Mario the jerk in the show? I mean, I guess he was the jerk in the game.
Well, and Donkey Kong kind of like sublingual. Donkey Kong just kind of makes Hulk noises. So you just have like a jerk and a Hulk versus each other.
I mean, this came on the heels of Donkey Kong Jr., where Mario was the villain. So they're kind of building on that, I think. I have to correct myself. I did see an episode of Saturday Supercade, and even as a small child, I thought it was so terrible that I watched other things on Saturday mornings. So I have seen it.
The Hanna-Barbera Pac-Man show is so much better than this.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's a fever dream that's worth watching. I think in the Saturday Morning Supercade as well, I think Frogger is a detective. And I might be misremembering that, but we've done something for that on our show, and I think Frogger solves crimes.
Hubert goes to the sock hop.
Yes, Hubert is like a 50s gangster because of the snake that has like the the pompadour in some of the art. Hubert is all 50s. It's real weird.
I think the cubes are supposed to represent diner tile,
or like first wave ska.
I think that was the
I didn't know to escape the specials.
I didn't know they thought that much about it. Yes, this is very dreary. It's all on YouTube. No one thought to preserve this in any way. And what I like to trace in this history of Mario adaptations is in the American stuff, in the non-Japanese, just to see when the Italian accent enters the equation. This is just Peter Cullen doing a voice, doing a regular man voice. There's no thought to make him a pizza man or the guy from Lady and the Tramp, the Italian chef, basically.
It sounds like John DiMaggio not trying very hard. And I say this as a Peter Cullen super fan. I view Optimus Prime as a father figure to me, closer than my own dad, really.
That's true. So we're going to move on to the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which had a lot of content. Uh-oh, people like it here. I have a soft spot in my heart for this. So yes, 65 wonderful episodes syndicated, wraparound segments featuring the late Lou Albano playing Mario, the late Danny Wells playing Luigi. So a lot of this show's a real graveyard these days, unfortunately. And like I mentioned with the Super Mario videos, the Japanese videos, these are all retellings of either historical things, public domain stories, or then popular movies like Star Wars.
Sometimes they're just in the Wild West.
Yes.
There's no specific story. It's just what if Mario was a cowboy?
Yes. I think there's a Lone Ranger one, and then there's just a generic Wild West one as well. So not a lot of fun. I think the most fun to be had with this is looking at the guest stars, like Vanna White and Magic Johnson Skyping in on the mirror and things like that. But one guest star I want to highlight in particular, because it's the Halloween season, and because I played 2 of her pinball games just yesterday, is Elvira. So she did not cover up at all for this children's program. And I think her appearance must be largely improvised, based on what you see here. But
I mean, they have to film 17 episodes in one day because they have they're not going to pay the crew to be there for more than a week. So there's not going to be a script.
I mean, we're going to see this clip in a second here, but I do remember being a kid in the 80s, just having Elvira shown to me, and I think the intent was, this doing anything for you? How's this make you feel?
The villain from Battletoads primed me for that.
Yes.
And Elvira took it home.
Yeah.
It was...
So we're going to see Elvira and Captain Lou having a bit of fun, and this is when this clip needs some context here. So Captain Lou Albano is sleeping, and like many of us, he dreams that Elvira comes into his living room through a sewer, and then more fun things happen. So we'll watch this next.
Listen, Big Mario. I'm Mario. Yeah, well, listen, Big Mario, you gotta help me.
Your wish is my command.
Oh, well, my first wish is for you to save me from this monster.
I'll save you.
Oh, hey, relax, boy. Enough of saying that dragging on the ground. Both hands. Got a matchbox there?
Move fast.
I don't know what this is. But sure it's reminding me of my first date. Almost buy me dinner. Oh, I didn't know you had I told you I was a little rusty. Luigi, Mummy, lose your rap, turn back into a glittering sap. How's that?
That's not him.
Well, if it takes him to catch a frisbee in his mouth, he'll be a big hit at the beach.
None of us expected that.
No. I bet a lot of you foolishly walked in thinking Elvira can't rap. I will say she is a little bit better than Blondie at rapping.
Elvira can't turn mummies into werewolves. It's a lateral move at best.
I mean, there was tentacle bondage in there and wolf transformations. If that didn't do something for you, then it was softening you up for Gadget.
Yes, the same here. She could have been on next, actually. But yes, it's like, let's invite Elvira onto our program for children. What is she going to do? Let's have a man paw at her for the first segments.
We go around some while stuck in place.
Yes, and that was shown to us as children. So this program used Mario 1 and 2, Doki Doki Panic, by the way, in case you don't know that.
What?
Yes, this is also the first time anyone is hearing this. The first time that Fire Short's been subtitled, the first time that trivia has been said in a live context. So we have King Koopa as the villain, back when he was called King Koopa in English. And about 80% of the jokes are just inserting the word "coop" into existing words.
And spaghetti.
And yeah.
Buying spaghetti. He loves spaghetti.
Lots of pasta puns.
Huge voter.
Yes. He loves the carbs, Mario. So it should be noted that if you watch these on YouTube, the big appeal of these originally when they aired was that they were kind of appealing to the MTV set, in which there's going to be a lot of montages because they can't write a lot for these characters, and all these montages were set to popular songs or covers of them, but they're all gone now. But the one big notable thing about this show was the glaring animation errors that I even noticed as a kid. And in one episode, they forgot to give a character a face. And there's something else. There's another fun little Easter egg in this. We'll get to it, but I'll show you this clip next. So watch for the Easter egg.
Swimming fast to the lost mushroom. That guy knows the location of every hidden treasure in Jungle Land and every shortcut to them.
Yes, it's a fun parody of a swastika. I can imagine why shortly after this Nintendo said, let's not do anything anymore. Let's just make video games.
I think Indiana Joe ran afoul of the same pharaoh that cursed Luigi in the live action segment and has face privileges taken away.
It feels to me like they envisioned this as a Harrison Ford parody. At the last minute, legal told them no. A rush phone call to Korea was made. And someone just said, don't give him a face.
Make him fat, give him a face, quick.
Faxing a new facial design would cost too much money, and Deke is not about spending money, they're about making it.
Refilm it without the face layer. We don't have time. We have to make 65 of these. They have to air daily for 13 weeks.
Well, and again, this was the 80s when it's like, well, Indiana Jones fought the Nazis in the movie. Let's just parody that here in this kid's thing.
What if this lovable character was a Nazi?
Yeah.
Sure. We don't do this anymore, obviously. So, moving on, there are two other American Mario cartoons. They're not nearly as kitschy as this or as fun as this. Elvira made no appearances, but one of them is worth investigating, if not for one worthwhile clip. It's all that can be salvaged of this, and I feel like this is very low-hanging fruit to play this clip, but I feel like if we don't teach this history, we are doomed to repeat it. So I know, again, low-hanging fruit, very reused clip, but we have to see what happened in 1990. Very topical.
There's only one stinky, two-faced reptile who laughs like that.
This is terrible. You'll even know you can cook that.
Oh, we get to cast Koopa in time. Maybe we can save him. Let's work.
I really dig into wedlock.
Well, I don't dig tails and scaly lips.
No, I am a
if we don't?
I'll turn you into
Accountants! That is a good one. No! We're nerds. This is terrible.
You know, wow, it still works. I felt bad for including that, but it still works.
Did Rob and Fab do their own voiceover work then?
Absolutely not. Yes. But yes, that was also strange to see in 1990 because I think it aired after the lip syncing scandal happened.
I remember that, yeah. I remember watching it live when the episode aired and saying to my mom, like, because I didn't know them other than, like, hey, isn't that the guys who gave the award back? And she's like, yes, she had to confirm that for me. And then they lip sync a song at the end, which, of course, in the DVD, I think they just have, you know, any old music play. I don't think it's even got lyrics over it.
No, it just a weird sounded like to Beat It, I think.
Right.
But yes, that is the only thing we're salvaging from that series. So it's the center panel of the promo image here. Sorry, it's the furthest right panel. But the Mario 93 movie, I think that could be its own panel. Maybe for the 40th anniversary, we'll do something at the 35th. But I think the one thing that is worth showing you folks is to see the late Bob Hoskins, the great Bob Hoskins, letting us know how much he actually believed in this movie. And I apologize for not subtitling him.
I didn't even know it was a game. It was my kid that told me. I said, what's your next film? I'm doing Super Mario Brothers. Oh, that's the game. Oh, what? Yeah, him. And this is you. And I saw this thing jumping up and down. I used to play King Lear.
So, I mean, he went on to do much better things, but not a high point for the great Bob Hoskins.
Whenever I get a chance, and then, you know, in front of a bunch of people, I have to say, I love that movie. I adore that movie with all of my heart. At this point, the modern Mario movie is what you expect because Mario looks like Mario, does Mario things. That, he does not do Mario things, does not look like Mario. Everything's wet. It's so weird and scungy and uncomfortable, and like you have to shower while watching it. And just the idea that this came out, I have 100% 180'd on it. As a kid, I was super disappointed, and now I'm like, no, that's what I want. An actual Mario movie where he does Mario stuff would have been boring. And then it came out, and it kind of is. So just saying, it could be worse. We didn't know what we had.
Yeah, I guess a montage to Walk the Dinosaur is better than a montage to I Need a Hero.
Yeah.
In the end.
Well, they bothered to remix Walk the Dinosaur, where it goes like a Goomba in it. It's like,
if Mojo Nixon isn't in your movie can do some fixing.
Also, this reminds me again that I think Will Albano is the only guy, Italian American, to play Mario in anything.
Oh yes, I think you're right.
So
we need to give the new guy a blood test. We need to get the 23andMe people to show up at his house.
23, it's a me.
So we have about 10 minutes left, so I have to speed through a few of these. So thankfully, there's only a few left. So we have up next Mario Ice Capades from 1989. So this is live action Mario for what feels like the first time. So the full context of this is that it was part of a 2-hour TV special celebrating the upcoming 50th anniversary of the Ice Capades, which would be bankrupt very soon afterwards. That's why you don't get to see the Ice Capades. It's always Disney on Ice or Sesame Street on Ice or whatever. But I will say, I'll give this credit, it did give Mario and Luigi Italian accents. For I believe what feels like the first time in English. Actually, I was on the show floor and I realized that the Mario pinball game could be the first Mario game with an Italian accent Mario, or even like speaking Mario. So yeah, it was a very odd choice for the time, but this is what we're living with now. So yes, Mario and Luigi, Italian accents. We also have Princess Toadstool, an impression of Mae West. So if you don't know who that is, when she talks, you'll be like, okay, I've heard like some Looney Tune talk like that in my lifetime. But the most important thing of all is that Mr. Belvedere plays King Koopa. So I have a bit of this for everyone to check out.
Minions! Koopa Troopers, attack the memory! Amada, erase the decimate! Lumber, lift your pockets! Koopa Paratroopa! Do a hard time, a hard ride! And inside little Spiny! Do what you want, only do it now! All systems, go!
invented voguing.
Those costumes are rotting in a warehouse we should all leave and go find now. I don't know what you guys are doing after this, but if we put our heads together, we could probably find those. Let's go.
I feel like the writer for this ran out of computer terms because King Koopa sings a rap about computer viruses, and he's like, Koopa, do some hard time in a hard drive, and he's got a different computer thing for everybody, but then he's like, Spiny, do what you must, because I ran out of vocabulary.
Mr. Belvedere's having so much fun there. I think I'd be that excited too if I got to just sit down at the ice capades. Sit around me.
I was just happy that it didn't sit on his own testicles.
Charles, I was trying to work that out. You got me. I love it.
Yeah, so when you see him sitting, it just the joke forms itself.
I do like Bowser being like a yes, Koopa, you must do this. Like a Shakespearean Bowser is a fun idea. It makes me Bob Hoskins had just been Shakespearean Mario.
I think Christopher Hewitt had played Captain Hook in the past, and that's what he's really channeling here. So we have about 5 minutes left. We got to speed through this. The best part of the show, what's considered lost media, and that's King Koopa's Cool Cartoons. 4Ks, everybody. They thought to include a fourth. Thank God. It wasn't just King Koopa's cartoons, but still, it's suggestive, I think. So yeah, this is produced by Deke. I think they thought they had the rights to the Mario characters after making the Super Show. So it's essentially the Bozo the Clown show. Bozo, friendly clown, not like Pennywise. He would be nice to the kids. They'd play games. This is basically the pitch is, what if Bozo was mean to you? And you were in his cult. So this essentially is an actor playing King Koopa and showing cartoons, but not Mario cartoons. And this ran for 13 weeks, 65 episodes, and most of it is lost to time. I think there's about 5 intact minutes online. So I will show you a bit of the opening, and I'll show you a bit of this poor actor just bombing in front of a group of kids. They do not understand his humor.
I'm King Koopa, and today is Kids' Rights Day! Yeah! We all believe in kids' rights, and I got a box here full of kids' rights. It's completely full of them. This box full of kids' rights. Wait a minute. These are all kids' lefts. Yeah, lefts. They're only left-handed. Left-handed. That's okay.
Hey, Super's very sick.
It's just a popularity contest with you kids, isn't it? Yes, that actor, the troubled actor, Christopher Collins. I believe that's Christopher Collins. He was the first voice of Mr. Burns and Moe.
And Starscream.
And
Cobra Commander. And he's covered. He's covered in makeup.
I think that was one of the names was a union name, and one was his real name.
When he was working for Sunbow, he was Chris Latta.
Yeah. But yes, we're about to wrap up here, so I have one final message that Mario will leave all of you with, some advice for the future. It's not about starting fires.
I'm Captain Amada talking about drugs. Kids, don't be afraid to say no. Anyone that asks you to use drugs is not your friend. Drugs can and will kill. Remember, don't be afraid to turn to your priest, your rabbi, your minister, your moms, your dads, your teachers, because drugs can kill. And if you do drugs, you go to hell.
Thank you everybody for coming to this panel. We love to be here. We love seeing you here. Thank you all my panelists for being on the panel with me.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and to the right are a few more videos from the Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2023. Thanks for watching.